coming into the campground at Ouabache State Park. Off to the left here, you'll see this wooden fence. The campground is basically all to the left as you come in, and you can kind of see it over there. There's plenty of guest parking outside of the campground. You can see here on the left and the right, and there's actually a shelter in the campground that you can get to from the outside. We'll view that here in just a little bit. But you come along into the campground, it's to the left. You go all the way down. We'll see the gatehouse and so forth, and you have to turn around and come all the way back. So you kind of make a U-turn to get into it. Ouabache State Park's a nice little park. It's not as big as some, but it's got trails and a buffalo habitat, fire tower, a swim beach with a lake and paddle boats and that kind of thing. So there's things to do. It's a nice little park. As we're coming up here, we're coming into the main gate area. To the left, you're going to see guest parking, and we'll see the other side of this because we have to come up and loop back around. So we'll see the back side of this here shortly. And then, of course, we're coming through the main gate here. And also off to the left and around here, you will see the dump station, typical dump station. And we'll see the back side of this here in just a moment. As you come in, there's your main water fill. And then if you continue on the road, that goes back to the youth camping area, which we did not cover, but most youth camping areas, it's just a wide open field. As you come in here to the right, you will see a playground, first of all. Behind that playground will be the Section B camp area, and we'll get to that eventually. There's also a bocce ball court that's up there between the drives. There's the south shower house. Panning back around to the guest parking again. That's the gatehouse over there. And the dumpsters are up with the guest parking. As we come in here, you'll see this is Campground A, the campground host there to the left. And across from them is wood, ice, and vending and so forth. We're going to start on the outside loop like we usually do, starting with site number 1. Site 2. Three. Site 6, 7, 9, 11, 13, and there's a water fill right there. 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 31, And in the back corner here, there's a trail access that goes back to trails 2, 3, and 5. There's another access that does the same thing. Here is site 32. That other trail access we'll see here in just a moment. 33. There is the well house back there in the background and a water fill. Site 34. 36. 38. 40. Trail 2 goes back to 3 and 5 as well. That particular Trail 2 goes to the volleyball and basketball court area as well. I noticed a pool on Google Earth that I do not believe is in service anymore. I think the pool is gone. This trail here goes from the guest parking to the shelter we'll see here in a moment. Here's site 49, 51, 53, and you can see that wooden fence in the background there. That's the drive that we came into, so these back up against that. Here's site 55, and there's a water fill. 57. 59. 61. 63. 65. 67. 69. 71. 73. 74. 76. 77. This is our first campground host site. This particular park does not have numbers on these sites, and they are right at the beginning of Campground A. And here's the other campground host site. Again, they are across from the wood and the ice and so forth. There's the dumpsters again and the guest parking. This is the other side of it. The gate house is there in the background. And there's also the other side of the dump station. Now we're going to come in and do the interior loops. There is a water fill right as you come into Campground A. This would be the interior loop of Campground A. And of course the numbers are what they are. They're not exactly organized perfectly, but they're not too bad. Here's site number 4. 5. 8. 10. 12. 14. 16. 17. This is the only cross drive to the entire campground, and we'll get to that here in just a moment. Here's site 21. North shower house there in the background. 23. There's a number of little paths that go up there. There's a water fill right there. Here's 25, 27, 29, 31, 'There's a pit toilet on the back drive here. You see the shower, the more shower house there in the background. Again, it's got several trails that go up to it from these sites. Here's site 35, 37, 39, kind of see the shelter there in the back. That's the Camp View shelter. We'll actually get a little closer to that here in just a second. The shower house is there with it as well. Here is site 50. Site 52. It's one of those extra sites not available on the reservation system. Site 54. And there's the Camp View shelter there in the background. It's a pretty good sized shelter. Site 56. I believe it has a fireplace and everything else. There's that cross drive. And site 58. We'll get to that drive here in a second. There's a handful of sites along it. Here's site 60. 62. 64. 'There's a water fill. 66. 68. 70. 72. 75. Now we're going to hit this drive that we've been talking about here. Starting with site 41, 43, 45, 47, 'Now we're going to go through that the other direction on the other side. Here's site 42. 44. In the background there, you can see the north shower house. There's some parking for it as well. Site 46. And then again in the background is the Camp View shelter. As you can see, it's a pretty good sized shelter. Pretty nice one. Site 48. Now we're going into Campground B. There's the same playground that we saw when we first entered the park. As we swing around here, you'll see the drive coming in. That's the drive where you come in behind there in the background. We're going to do these the best we can. There were some one-way streets in this one, so bear with us, but we think we did a pretty good job. We're starting with site number 112, 114, These sites we noted were a little bit shorter than the ones in Campground A. So if you've got something a little longer, these may not be for you. But there were some pretty good sized ones in here. You just had to look carefully. Here's site 116. $118. $120. $122. $124. There's a pit toilet in the back corner of this place. 95. $94. And now we're going to do the other side of the loop here. Here's 113. $115. $117. Water fill. $119. $121. $123. Here's 96. Around the corner here. $97. $99. There's a water fill. 101. 103. 105. 107. 109. 111. Now we're getting the other loop here. This is site 98. 100. 102. 104. 106. 108. 110. There's a water fill. And we're coming around here again. We're on the inside of one of the two loops in Campground B. This is 79, 81, 83, 85, 87, 89, 91, there's water fill, and now we're going to do the outside of that same loop. Coming around here, there's the entrance to A, and then this is the south shower house. It's all kind of right there together as we come into the outer part of this loop. Here's site 78. 80, 82, 84, 86. This is one of those sites that's not available on a reservation system. 88, 90, 92, and 93. And that ends the tour. We thank you for joining us today.